if you want to manage screen time, you really have to first of all look at how much time you are spending on a screen. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lois, and if you're into anything consciousness, conscious parenting especially, then you will enjoy all of the content on this channel. So I just want to share what we do and what works for us, and I know that by cutting out some of these things, it'll work for you as well. So first of all, and this isn't even just like to do with screen time, this is just like general life. First of all, stop listening to the news. Switch off the news. Don't listen to the news. I have no idea what's going on like outside of our little world, of our family, because I choose deliberately not to have that pouring into my system over and over again 50 million times a day. If you've got notifications on your phone popping up every time there's a new news bulletin, switch them off. Don't listen to the news. Stop doing that. Secondly, we don't have a telly at all in the house. We just don't have a telly. And look up what other devices and how many TVs and stuff like that you've got in the house, because if you're saying to your child, oh, you're only allowed this much screen time or whatever, then you're looking at your phone a lot, or you're watching telly of an evening for hours and just like binge watching on Netflix or whatever it is, then just really look at that. It's like a bit contradictory in what you're saying to them. So that's the first thing, is to always, this is basically like the core of what I teach every single time, is it's never about them, it's always about you, and it's always an inside internal thing. So go within, and then also look at what it is you're doing on the outside that's needs to reflect back on the inside how you want it to be, because how you feel inside is how you're going to see things on the outside. So we have one tablet and one phone in the house. My laptop is broken at the moment, and that's it. That's the only thing. So we also do no screen days twice a week. And if you're implementing no screen days, you have to do it as well. You can't just be like, oh, it's no screen day for you, and then not do it yourself. So what I've got I've got my phone, and then they would have the tablet, and we put all of them away. Like the phone goes off, it goes away for the whole day. If we've had to make plans to meet our friends that day, I make sure I do it before. Don't like plan for any kind of meetings or whatever on your no screen days. So we do our no screen days on Wednesdays, on Sundays. Now for you, if you're working all week, then you might want to do it just on the weekend. It's entirely up to you. This is the thing, like there's no prescription. It's or if you want to do just one day, if one day works better, then just do one day, just to like start off with, just to build up. Honestly, getting rid of the telly was like one of the best things ever. It's like one of the best things you can do for yourself if like you like really want to just like cut off this. It's an addiction to like that numbing out in front of the telly. It's an addiction to constant feeding yourself with external information, rather than going within, and it's avoidance. It's an avoidance of going within and like knowing deeply in yourself who I am is, and that's a soul. And children only operate from soul level, because when you're a little baby and you're brand new and you're born, you don't have you have zero computer programming in your brain and your mind. You don't have that ego that everyone else has, because we have then been molded and we've had all these conditions like pressed into us, and then we believe we are the personality, we believe we are the mind, we believe we are the ego. When babies are born, you don't have any of that. It's like a clear computer that's empty. There's nothing in it. It's just pure soul. And so that's why children only operate from soul intuition, whatever you want to call it. So if you're not accessing that space and you're still believing that you are the mind, which I'm not saying is bad, that's just what that is. The mind operates on a space of duality, and it's like feel good, feel bad. I am right, I am wrong. They are right, they are wrong. I am good, I am bad, blah, 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 blah. Light, dark, yin, yang, opposites. Whereas the soul is this singularity space, there's no opposite here. That's the only space that children operate from, is the soul. So if you're not in soul alignment and you're not operating from that space as well, then the connection, like when you're trying to say to them about screen time, like they're just not going to hear you. And then as they get a little bit older, and depending on how much screen time they've had, it becomes like withdrawals when they don't have it then. Like, so when you take away the amount of that time that they've had it, if you're going to go into this, like maybe just like wean into it very slowly, depending on how much screen time they've had. Like if they've always had it, then if you go in there and just be like, right, I'm getting rid of the telly and it's gone, that's like a massive like it's kind of like you're not giving out any methadone, it's just like ripping it away. So it's up to you again, like this is where you need to go within and decide, like, how are we doing this, what's best for us and my family, and then just go for it and know that that's right for you. But don't go into this and like what's best for my family based on societal conditions and this and that and what are they doing and blah 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 blah. This is an internal thing. This is what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, but if I do it like that, then it might be wrong or right or blah. That's the mind coming in again. So this is to soul align and operate from that space yourself. You then connect with your child, and it then just is easy. It flows because there's no like missing the connection with each other, because you're not coming from one space and they're not coming from another. It's the same level. It's exactly the same thing. So you have to go within, and then when that happens and when you recognize I am the soul, I am not the mind or the body, I have a mind, I have a body, but I am the soul, then it just, like, that's when the decisions about screen time and anything else to do with parenting in general in your life, then that just happens. It just becomes easy. So what we do is, we don't have a telly, I don't listen to any of the news bullshit. Even if I'm in the car and they've got the radio on, if the news comes on, I switch it over straight away. Like, it's not coming on my radar. It's not coming into my life at all. I'm just not listening to that at all. Nothing. I'm not having that in my life. So then we do 2 days a week, no screen time. And you can also do like maybe no screens an hour before bed, or like whatever you want. We don't really tend to do that. But what we do is we go up the stairs at a certain time, and then it takes a certain amount of time, and we don't rush that time to go to sleep. So there is a space period in between screen and sleep time where there's no screens and there's books, obviously. So that's how we do screen time. I'd love to know how you do it below, and if you've got any questions, then please ask. I'm always here to help. And the thing is, like, knowing that if they have a lot of screen time one day, that it's not bad. It doesn't mean that you're bad, that you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean anything. Like, the mind, the ego wants to have a reason and like this it's good, it's bad thing going on, but it doesn't mean that. It just, if you're feeling like, I really want to cut this down and I really want to sort this out and I really want to have some kind of structure, or I just don't know what to do about the situation, my child is like constantly wanting their screen and I just don't know what to do about it, then you have to go within, and you have to also look at what you're doing during your own time. So are you, like, if you're wanting them to play instead of going on a screen, what are you doing when you've got like 5 minutes to yourself? Are you reading a book, or like half an hour to yourself even? Are you reading a book, or are you sitting scrolling on Facebook? And that's another thing. Get off social media, get off Facebook, get off Instagram. I'm not on any social media anymore at all. Deactivate your account, and honestly, like, it's just so like refreshing not being on there, because even though I didn't watch the news, I would still find out everything like through that channel. So I just don't know what's going on anymore, and it's amazing. You just like then have so much more time to decide what you actually want in your life. And this isn't like a either or thing either. It's not like, oh, I don't care about the world and what's going on, and like I couldn't give a fuck. But also it is like, I don't care about what's going on and I don't give a fuck. It's both. It's both and neither at the same time. So when you move into the soul space, into your own alignment, you come into like the core isness of your own being, and you recognize and you feel deeply and embody what is true for you, and what is the truth of your own values, and what it is you value about the world and everything in it. And then you move from that space, and then you live from that space into whatever it is that you feel is important. So if there's something going on out there that you feel is important, then you come into alignment with that, and you recognize it and you realize it, and then you just do something about it, rather than like, oh, everyone's saying that this is important, so this is what I have to believe is important as well. There's none of that. And that's what I'm saying, like with the screen thing as well, it comes into everything. It's like, what do you actually want? What do you actually feel like what do you value as your core values? Why is it that you want to have less screen time? And sometimes it's like the mind always asks questions as well, and it wants answers, but sometimes it's not an answer in like a format, it's just a feeling and a knowing. Like, I just know that this is the right next thing. That's it. That's enough. And then it'll be like, well, that's not it. That's too simple, or that's not good enough, blah, blah. And then that's the mind coming in again. It's just like, this is why we're doing this, or I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just know I have to do it. And that's it. So leave your questions or comments below. I'd love to know how you do less screen time. The thing with, you can also get like tablets for kids, I think, that have got like a timeout thing where like they get 2 hours or something, then it clocks off and that's it for the day. The thing where it's kind of like, if they're on the screen and then you just want to say, right, that's it, done, and take it away, that can sometimes be too much for some kids. So you might need to do like, okay, 5 more minutes and then we're going to switch off, or something like that. In the unschooling community, I know that there's like unlimited screen time, and the kids then decide how much screen time they have and all of that stuff. That's fine. I'm not saying that's bad. We don't do that because it's not aligned for us. It's not something that is aligned for our family. It's just not like, my kids' behaviour dramatically would change, and does change, if they have too much screen time. And managing that as well, like when they come back from, so say if you're co-parenting and they come back from their other parent's house and they've had a lot of screen time, and then you're trying to reduce it, that's like another thing. So I might do another video on that. But managing that as well comes into it. So I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.